Untitled 11A1, America.
Alright. Ready? Yep.
Hey Gearholics out there, it's me Gearholic, and I'm coming at you guys with another review. And today, it's going to be over the Smith&Wesson M&P Compact. Isn't that an awesome gun? Oh yeah. Alright, let's get going. Hey guys, it's me Gearholic, and this is the Smith&Wesson M&P Compact, and it is chambered in 9mm. The reason why I chose 9mm is because there were different rounds available at the time. They had a 40, and then they had the 9mm version. I chose the 9mm because it was a little bit more affordable for me to shoot. I connect really well with 9mm downrange, and it's pretty much available all over the world. So those kind of three factors kind of pushed me into wanting to get a 9mm versus a 40. I'm not going to sit here and argue whether or not 40 is better than 9mm. I think both rounds have plus and minuses on their side, and I think that there are many different opinions out there that you guys can go and look up that dictate otherwise of what I say. But in my personal opinion, I connect really well with 9mm, and at the end of the day, with a self-defense handgun, that's all that matters. I think it was in 2011 that I picked this specific weapon up. My dates might be like way off, so I apologize. But I know for a fact that I remember in 2011 when I went to go get my CHL license, I decided I was going to get some sort of subcompact or compact handgun, and I chose that Smith&Wesson was going to be the best option for me. So I went down and I got the 9mm version of the compact, and I have been happy ever since. There's not a single other weapon that I prefer to carry over the Smith&Wesson compact. I do have other handguns that I have used, and I have used an extensive array of handguns in all different calibers, 40, 45, Glocks. I've used so many different handguns, I can't even remember how many. Probably a lot of pistols, a lot of revolvers, and I've had a long, extensive history with Smith&Wesson and shooting their revolvers, and so I decided that I was going to go with one of their pistols, seeing as how they're kind of the innovators of pistol design. I know that Glocks are pretty awesome, and I know there's really good Glock levers out there, and I totally respect that. I think that the ergonomics of this feel a little bit better in my hand than a Glock, and that's just my opinion. So let's talk a little bit of specs real quick. The overall length of the Smith&Wesson M&P is going to be 6.7 inches long by 4.3 inches tall. It also has a width of 1.2 inches. So it's not the fattest hog on the block, but it's kind of the middleweight. It could be thinner. There are obviously thinner weapons out there, and there are obviously lighter weapons out there too. The Smith&Wesson Compact rings in at a grand total weight of 21.7 ounces of weight, plus magazine fully loaded is going to be 24 ounces, I believe. So that's one of those things you guys have to remember about this is it's not a super light gun. It's a compact, not a subcompact, and it is definitely not a single stack. So it's not like your shields or anything else. But I will say this, it stacks more rounds in the magazine, and it holds more. You can shoot it longer, and it is a little bit more durable, I would say, than some of the other weapons out there. In my opinion, I think that this is a really durable, accurate weapon. So it also has fully ambidextrous features on it. It has an ambidextrous magazine release, and it also has an ambidextrous slide release as well on both sides. So slide releases on both sides. The ambidextrous magazine release can be switched out for righties or lefties on either side, which is kind of a nice feature. It also has low profile Novak sights on the back with kind of a squared off front sight. You can get tritium night sights installed in both of these. I don't have tritium night sights. Mine are just a very simple 3-dot sight. And I'll do the FBI light up style if I need to, if I need to look in the dark. So In my opinion, I think that the setup on this is a kind of a good setup. I would say it's a really good basic protection defensive weapon. With that being said, all of the features on it are just designed to just be completely ergonomic already. They do have replaceable back straps. They have small, mediums, and larges. I'm not going to show you that. You guys can watch another video on that. I'm running the small on this version. I do have large hands. I fit the glove size that I usually use is usually pretty large, and my hands fit on this relatively well. If I insert a magazine into it, I'll insert the flush magazine. Basically, I can get a half of that pinky on there, so I can start connecting with shots and things. If I really cram my fingers in there, I can really get almost all of them all the way on. Smith&Wesson also includes a secondary magazine with a pinky extension on it. You guys can use that if you want. I think it's really great for making long distance shots over the 50-yard line if you need to. 20 yards, 15, 10, 5. This is just a magical thing to have. I'm telling you what. I called Smith&Wesson because they only came with a flush mag and with the one with the pinky extension. I called them on the phone, and they actually sent me a secondary pinky extension for free within 3 to 5 business days. I got here really fast, very, very organized, well done for Smith&Wesson. The trigger is amazing. It breaks out about 3.5 pounds. That's not too bad. It could be a lighter trigger, but you know where it's going to break every time, which makes it a very crisp and easy trigger to use. I've used a lot of pistols, and I think this is one of the best triggers I've ever used. 1911 has a pretty good trigger, and there are several other brands out there that have pretty good triggers, but this is pretty good for Smith&Wesson, and what you're buying for $420 or whatever it costs nowadays. I think I got this one for $425. At the time it was a brand new gun, never been shot, nothing. And so, this is a great gun, and I'm sure you can get one used or something like that, or pick one up at a gun show. I'm telling you, man, this is a great gun, and it's great for those moments where, stuff hits the fan and you got to bug out. It's got the magazines themselves hold 12 plus 1, so 13 total, and then you get an additional magazine, so you're looking at 25 full rounds just as your go box, as your go goes, however your go goes. I don't know what that means. So if you guys have to leave, you're at least leaving the house with 25 full rounds. That's a lot of power. That's a lot of rounds. I think that's a really good plus. If you buy extra mags or whatever, and you take a box of ammunition with you, that's even better. You're gonna be doing a lot better than the other guy who didn't prepare and didn't have the handgun that they needed. And it's better to be safe than sorry, right? Better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. I think it's a great weapon overall. I was going to show you guys some of the options that are available to you guys. I run for holsters. I run the Uncle Mike's number 16. I think it's a really great one. I had to do a little bit of modification on it, make it a little tighter on my weapon, just because I think I got the wrong size. But they're cheap. They're easy. If they break or start getting all weird, you can throw it away and buy a brand new one for all of $15. So that's a pretty good deal. And the way that it seats in the actual, the way the gun actually seats in the holster itself feels really good, especially when tucked into the side or kidney carry, or however you guys like carrying it. It feels really, really, really good. And it's easy in and out. It's a really easy in and out holster, which is what I like. I like drawing and then being able to seat it back really easy. So anyways, it's one of those options that you guys can pick up. Smith&Wesson M&P. Go get one if you haven't already. Go try one out if you haven't already. This thing is going to be awesome. It's a great round to take out and shoot with your friends. It's a great round to train your wife or your significant other. If they're unfamiliar with guns, this is a great gun to start them off with. Super simple, easy to clean. Doesn't ever malfunction. I've never had a single malfunction in the 800 rounds that I've fired in this gun, roughly. I've never, ever had a single jam. I've never had a single, and if it was a jam, if there was a jam, it was operator error, not the gun. So anyways, that's all I have to say about the Smith&Wesson M&P Compact. Hope you guys really enjoyed this review, and I really enjoyed reviewing it. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know, and I'd be more than happy to get back to you. All right, I'm Gearaholic, and I'm signing out. You guys stay safe out there and try not to cut yourself. All you do is you pull back on the slide. I hate how, like, in movies, they, like, hold it like this, and they're all like, the,